In breaking news on Capitol Hill, the Senate just confirmed Mark Esper as the new defense secretary. The military veteran and former Army secretary took on the role as acting secretary of defense last month. It took the administration 7 months to permanently fill the role. It's been the longest vacancy that the Defense Department has ever seen. Joining me now, NBC Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kube. Courtney, now that there is one less vacant position in the Trump administration, how has that empty vacancy impacted operations at the Pentagon, or has it at all, seeing that there was somebody there in an acting capacity?
So the best way I like to describe this is, the trains at the Pentagon are still running on time, but you really need someone who's there, who's directing them where to go. And that's what's been missing during this time. Secretary Mattis resigned in December. Acting Secretary of Defense Patrick Shanahan has served in that job until about June, when he very surprisingly and quickly resigned. And then Mark Esper took up the helm as Acting Secretary of Defense in mid-June. And as you said, he was just confirmed. So this also just unleashes another row of dominoes at the Pentagon leadership. David Norquist, who's been serving as the acting Deputy Secretary of Defense since Patrick Shanahan moved up to acting Secretary of Defense, well, the White House just forwarded his nomination to be the actual permanent Deputy Secretary of Defense. He pushes back to the comptroller role, and then the Secretary of the Navy, Richard Spencer, becomes the acting Deputy Secretary of Defense. So there's this whole game of dominoes that continue to fall as each of these vacancies is finally filled with a permanent secretary and now deputy secretary. David Norquist is expected to sail through confirmation and be sworn in or be confirmed as early as next week. Steph.
I realize he's obviously new to the position, but do you have any historical perspective on how well he knows President Trump, what their relationship is like?
Mark Esper, I mean, he's been the Army Secretary for about 2 years, and he's been had a great relationship with President Trump and a really good relationship with the Hill during that time. That's one of the reasons, his nomination and confirmation was accelerated. It all went through in about 2 weeks, which is very fast for this. I think part of that was the fact that members were tired of having an acting Secretary of Defense and wanted someone in a permanent position, especially given all the tensions with Iran, all of the world issues that are going on right now. They really wanted someone who was in there as a permanent job. Mark Esper is said to have a very good relationship with President Trump and also with some of the people who surround President Trump on defense and national security issues. He's a West Point grad, and he went to school with some of the people who are the Trump whisperers on these issues. So he's expected to have a more powerful position and to have more juice in the job than Acting Secretary of Defense Patrick Shanahan did.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.